Hi, and welcome to the Unfertile to Unfiltered podcast, a space where we talk honestly about infertility, motherhood, and the wild, beautiful, heartbreaking, and hilarious journey of being a woman.
We're your hosts, Simona
and Vicki,
two friends who have walked through IVF, loss, exhaustion, joy, and everything in between.
We started this podcast because we know what it feels like to search for stories that sound like yours and come up empty. We wanted to create the kind of space we needed, one where nothing is off limits and no experience is ever too messy to talk about.
You'll hear us talk about the parts no one warns you about, the hormone shots, the baby showers after miscarriage, feeling lost in motherhood, and trying to remember who you are underneath it all.
We'll also bring on guests, experts, moms, and women with stories you won't forget to help all of us feel a little more seen and a little less alone.
This is a space for honesty, for healing, and for humor, because if we don't laugh through this stuff sometimes, we might cry forever.
So grab your cup of something, coffee, wine, your third reheated tea, and settle in.
This is Unfertile to Unfiltered, and we are so glad that you're here.
Hello, and welcome back to season 1, episode 10. We're keeping this in of Unfertile to Unfiltered. I am your host, one of your hosts, Vicki. And unfortunately, my fabulous co-host, Simona, is not here with me today. She just has so much on her plate, and I'm sure she'll explain all of that the next time she's on. But I do have today my wonderful, wonderful husband, Joe. Hello, Joe. How are you?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I told him, I said, we're just going to take this easy. We're just going to go with the flow. But this is the first podcast you've ever been on, let alone anything.
Yeah, I'm not on camera much, so this is different.
Yeah, you're not on camera much, but also, this is... Right, do you feel nervous, or are you pretty good?
We're going to find out.
We will. Okay, so when we were talking a little bit, we were talking about, what are the things we want to focus on, because I don't always get the opportunity to, ever have you on a podcast, and specifically my podcast, in which, Simona and I have already talked about, our fertility struggles and, obviously the impact that, we perceived it had on, our husbands, too. On a serious note, when you think back to our fertility journey, how hard was that time for you?
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty with it. There's a lot of kind of, going through stages, worrying about, health, because we had health things kind of going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's always the concerns that we had with that, and then just kind of the unknown. This is our first child and whatnot, so it's kind of a learning experience every step of the way.
Yeah, I think that's said really well. And I think that also, it's great for probably other people to hear you speak to it, because I can say it and I can always share, my perception of it, but obviously your experience with it was different than my experience with it, right? As someone who was actually going through the injections, going through the hormonal ups and downs. Now, let me ask you, how bad were the hormonal ups and downs with me?
They're always a challenge. And it's just an unpredictable challenge, too. You don't really have answers for these things. You just have to feel it out and do the best you can.
Did you have a color coding system for me if you knew that I was in a really bad...
We thought about that for a second, but I don't really know that color coding, this isn't anything fancy in that sense. Yeah. This isn't the government kind of whatever it was that they did for a while. But yeah, so there were obviously times that were tougher than others.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Okay, so when I think about what I want to talk about today, especially for you being on this podcast, because I don't know, maybe we'll be able to get Joe back on at some point.
Okay.
Maybe we'll be able to get him back on at some point, but for now, okay. Do you feel obviously we talked very briefly just now about like our fertility journey and specifically the uncertainty. Would you say that fatherhood has still had many levels of uncertainty, or like
There's always uncertainty.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said, you're a feeling out process. So there's not really any like one answer that kind of fits everything. So you kind of go by general guidelines as to what to expect or whatnot. But I remember even like the bottle feeding thing. That was kind of like a tough one, especially in the beginning, not knowing how much, what the signals are. I mean, they make it seem like, oh, you're just supposed to know, and that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Just knowing didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I needed to kind of get more information, more kind of like cues as to what I'm supposed to look for.
Yeah. You were kind of militant. I remember you with the bottles. Joe was a little militant with it. He was like, it's been 2 hours. We need to feed her again.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, that was my feeling out process.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, so I know what I'm supposed to kind of expect.
Yeah. He was a great bottle cleaner, though. I would leave the bottles in the sink a lot of the times, and he would come home from work and he would clean them. I was always very appreciative of that.
Yeah, well.
Do you still do that? Do I still leave things in the sink?
Do you? Yeah, I mean, yes, you do. You know that.
Do I still leave things in the sink is the question.
But it's also our scenario, too. Where
Yeah.
I have to go to work, and you have more flexibility in that sense. So I kind of feel like it was that's one of our strengths.
Sure.
Is that we can kind of fill in for each other. And one of my ways to fill in for you, having to do things during the day, is not worry about cleaning out the sink or cleaning out the bottles or this, that, and that.
Yeah, agreed.
So.
Agreed. I'm going to say, recent example in which, as the father to our daughter, that you were like, this was an amazing moment, and oh my gosh, this was a moment in which I wanted to pull my hair out.
Well, it's kind of different too, because obviously our daughter growing up, she has different personalities. In the beginning, there's not as much personality to kind of deal with. Now it's kind of those personalities, especially when they're headbutting personalities, I guess you would say, where they're.
I like to refer to her, she's a strong-willed, fiery child. In this
So when
world.
you get those moments where you can clearly see that she's going to be in a mood right now.
Yeah.
There's just like, there's no like breaking that. It's just, you have to ride the wave.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes the funniest moments is when Joe comes home and he's very excited to see me, our daughter, and our pup. And everyone is just like, hey.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how Paige is sometimes.
Yeah.
Where she can be, there's moments where she's like, hey, daddy, I love you, comes up and hugs, and you're like, those are the greatest. And then there's moments like, oh, hi, who are you? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. The days that you're chopped livered and the days that you're like up on the pedestal, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, don't know what to expect. Just kind of walk in and be like, all right, what am I going to be moving into?
What have you been enjoying, though, like, more recently, especially in fatherhood? Like, what are some things that you're like, oh, this is cool?
I would say, despite some of, like, the toughy moments, I guess you would say.
Sure.
Just engaging with her as, like, a person at this point.
Yeah.
Where it's not just, like, I'm just taking care of your needs and you're just doing your thing. It's now, there's a back and forth.
Yeah, like a reciprocation,
yes.
yeah.
So now it actually feels like I'm talking to a person.
Yeah.
Not like taking care of a pup, you know what I mean?
I mean, she was never a pup, but
no,
yes.
she's not actually a pup, but it's like, that's the best analogy that I could put it. It's
Yes.
just taking care of something that doesn't really give you a whole lot of feedback in that sense.
I mean, I think that our pup gives us a lot of feedback.
Doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk, but he speaks with his eyes. And he's currently over on the couch somewhere just being a little sleepy sloth. So totally get that. How do you think that we have grown? Like when you think about...
We've had to evolve as parents.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of our things. And I kind of feel like you you don't really know what direction you're going in as far as a parent with the first child.
Oh, for sure. I still feel like I have those moments.
I mean, we only have one child, so
Right.
it's kind of. But I kind of see that if you kind of know what to expect with the first child, you kind of know the second child, kind of what the gist of it is as far as what goes on. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's more kind of like, there's less, I don't know, feeling out, I guess you would say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think she's constantly evolving, and I think that, like, when I even just look at us now versus, like, when she was first born and all of the above, I think that there's a lot of times I sit there being like, oh, like, how do we improve on our communication in front of her? Or how do we, you know, show her, like, what a loving relationship looks like, right? Because I think that, like, we're actually, like, when I look at some of, like, their friendships or relationships around me, right, like, I don't always see, like, a lot of PDA or, like, outward affection. And I think what's something that I really love about us is that, like, we demonstrate that to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of, like, hey, how much do we love her, but also how much do we love our, like, us, right? Like, in our marriage and all of the above. Self-care, because that's, like, a huge thing that Simona and I talk about, especially on the podcast.
Yes.
What does self-care look like to you now in fatherhood? Or just, like, in life?
That's a good question. I mean, self-care, I guess it's like a feeling out thing again.
Well, no, self-care in regards to, like, your own life. So, like, what are you even doing after our podcast?
I like sleeping.
He does actually really love sleeping. Let me just tell you on a side note that, like, this morning I was up at, like, 3-something, and here's Joe next to me just peacefully snoring away like nothing bothers him in the world. I literally, I think, whispered to him, probably creepily, I think I was like, I wish I could sleep as well as you do.
I mean, as far as self-care, I think you just lean into the things that you enjoy doing.
Right, so, like, what are you enjoying doing these days?
Sports are a great one for guys. It's something that you can talk about, you can read about, you do a lot of things with.
But you specifically. Like, obviously you're not just going to sleep after this. Like, what are you doing after this podcast?
I'm working out.
Yes.
That's one of my things that I like to enjoy.
That is a huge thing.
To me, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, where I enjoy not only the kind of exertion part of working out, but also kind of the interesting things as far as doing movements properly and just kind of doing some research as far as how to do things correctly. Different, like, isolation exercises and whatnot, different dietary habits. Kind of, there's a whole, I mean, nutrition has, like, a huge library of things that you can be involved with.
Sure. I was going to say, like, if
so
you
it's
have...
just a constant improvement.
Yeah. But, like, I think that's been really, like important self-care for both of us. Like, I think we're both very physically active, and we demonstrate that a lot to Paige, for sure. Just even in the sense of, like, I was talking, I think I said to you, like, one time when we were recently walking as a family, I was like, you know, this is something that I definitely did not enjoy as a child, but I, like, definitely appreciate it now as an adult. But I remember my own mother really trying to, like, get us to, like, walk more and do things like that, and just being like, oh, like, that activity, right? Like, it's not just about the physical, it's also about the emotional, right? So
yeah, but there's benefits to it too, like working out and whatnot. I mean, obviously your health is extremely important, so it's kind of one of those things that it's not, like, detrimental to be kind of heavily involved with or enjoy kind of pursuing.
I mean, always balanced, though, I think is key, right? Always balanced. Okay, so, like, some just more, like, funny, because this is also, like, how our relationship is and some of our dynamics. So, like, when you think about your top 3 pet peeves of me, right? Like, specifically of me, what would you say that they are?
Top 5.
Top 3. Top
Top
3, not
okay,
5.
Okay, well,
I can't have 5 things, please.
I would say.
Be nice to me
okay,
here.
So one of the easy things that comes to mind is the constant reminders about Paige's seat in the car.
Okay, I mean, like, is anyone else feeling this too? Like, okay, explain what you get frustrated with.
So, for me, getting Paige, I like to get Paige in, like, nice and easy. She kind of gets in, just put the belt on, we're all done. If I have to, like, pull it out from underneath her and she's got things going on, like she has, like, something like a book or something that's on, like, her lap or something like that, it gets, like, I have to now dig around her to figure it out. When it's just takes 2 seconds. Takes 2 seconds.
This is a constant thing, but I'll tell you.
It's minor. I know it's minor.
For any and all of you who are listening, like, seriously though, how many times do you just get your child out of their car seat or out of, like, their seatbelt or whatever it is, and you're like, okay, we are just moving on to the next thing.
Sure.
And so
I still put
I still honor and respect it, but okay. What's another 2?
I mean, I can't really think of things off the top of my head. It's kind of usually just... the problem is if I'm annoyed with it, I try to compartmentalize it and just kind of like push it away so that it doesn't bother me.
As a therapist, I don't know if that's healthy or not, but as your wife, I'll agree to it.
That is my coping method.
Yes,
okay, that is how I do things. Yeah, I don't really... like, for instance, the seatbelt thing. It's very minor. So,
yeah.
Is it something to really kind of, like, fuss over? Not really.
But does he? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Anyway. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad to know that there's only really one thing that kind of gets you about me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, hey now.
I mean...
I'm a real catch here.
Yeah.
I'm a real catch.
So,
okay.
You know it goes the other way.
Oh yeah, what are the pet peeves that I have about you? You know what's so funny is when I think about that, what would I say it is? Oh, and he's gonna laugh at this one, but it's very true. If there is something, a scrumptious, yummy food that I am saving for myself, my fabulous, wonderful husband here always has a tendency of eating it on me. And it's because he doesn't always ask. And so I have often come home, it's often that I will come home and I'll be like, oh man, I was really craving the rest of that like cheesecake slice or that like leftover from the night before. And he'll be like, well, you didn't tell me, so I ate it. And I'm just like, ah. And so I never expect when it comes to the food that I keep in the house that is especially yummy and mine to ever actually stay around. That is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Okay. So that reminds me of one of the pet peeves I have with you.
Oh, interesting that it's coming out now.
Which it does have a relationship with it, is that I have a thing about throwing out edible food, I guess you would say, or food that is not, in my opinion, bad. And I know if you're saving something, I don't know if you're saving it or if it's, I just forgot about it, I'm going to throw it out tomorrow or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
So there is a relationship, kind of, between the two.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Pet peeves. But
what would it...
It's minor.
Yeah, minor. Yeah, mine's minor too there.
Yeah.
But I was going to say,
yes.
What's another one of mine when it comes to you? You're pretty great, but I will say that probably, you know what? You have a tendency of just leaving like wet towels. Like you use like a towel to shower and then like you leave it on like the bed. And I'm like, ugh.
Okay.
But it's funny because, so I've probably shared in previous podcasts that, like, Joe and I have been together for how many years now? 19?
I was going to say 19.
Yeah,
yes.
we've been together 19. We've been
Mm-hmm.
married for, what's this year? We've been married for 13.
Yeah.
So exciting. So many more years ahead of us.
Well, I kind of feel like the longer you're with someone too, the more like little things kind of just like you notice, I guess.
Do you think that you noticed it, or do you think that it's actually like things that like I think about when we first got together and we were both so young. Like I was younger than you because, you know,
Yeah.
I'm 3 years younger. And so anyways, I just like remember that things would really, right? Like, and it's probably because of like my own immaturity at that time or whatever it was, but things would just like really kind of bug me. Like, and like I would harp on them. Like I'd just be like, oh, and I felt like now, like I don't do that as much. And I actually don't know if like motherhood has just made me become a little bit more like desensitized to certain
Maybe.
things, right? Like,
I can kind of see that.
because I think that like a lot of the times we are so preoccupied like in her world that like those little things, it's like, okay, if he's just like meeting my basic needs and then some during the day, like that's a win. I don't know if that's how like you feel sometimes too, like when it comes to like us and our marriage, but like the things that may have probably led to bigger arguments or bigger issues in the past maybe just don't affect us as much.
That's kind of tough to tell, I would say, because how much of it is just maturity, how much of
true.
it is different responsibilities coming up that
Yes.
you have to worry about.
Yes.
Or, I mean, when we're our beginning stages, we're still feeling out the other person.
Yes.
You know? So there's still the learning of like, how is this person in relation to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's tough to pinpoint to say, yeah, it was this, it was that, it was that.
Yeah.
Could be all of it.
Yeah. Question, very important question. Was it love at first sight?
For me, it was. For you, I kind of get like mixed stories every now and then.
I will tell you that the first time I actually saw Joe, I remember he was wearing these, and he always finds this hilarious. I am so triggered by denim shorts. Joe had on these denim shorts that were like below the knee, people, below the knee. And it was the first outfit I ever saw him in, and I said, oh Lordy, I may have made a mistake here, but luckily here we are.
That was
19.
the interesting part to our story, is that you were hesitant right from the get-go.
But here I am, 19 years later,
Yes.
right? 19 years later,
Yes.
with a babe, well, two babes, right? Remy too.
Technically,
We
yeah.
can't, exclude him.
That was also part of our feeling out process, is Minimax.
Yes, I've mentioned Minnie and Max before on the podcast. They were very much our first kids. And
Yeah.
the grief that we both felt like when we were navigating that. I think that was like something that especially was probably one of the hardest things. I mean, yes, other than our fertility journey, I felt like it was one of the hardest times for us to go through, like losing Max and then like a year and a half later losing Min.
Yes, but also in the beginning stages of it, it was difficult because of our situations as far as having. I mean, that was kind of one of the things that we were pretty much aligned on, which is our love of Minnie and Max.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was kind of one of the sharing things that we had. We had to navigate kind of our living situations at the time.
Sure,
So,
sure, yeah, absolutely.
But
But
that was
I
a
do-
common thing that we had.
Yeah, but it's true. But it's like it's just like I look back at our timeline sometimes. I'm like, wow, like our like relationship was challenged in certain ways, like in really big ways, and in some ways that some relationships are never even challenged, right? Like there are some couples that never go through infertility. There are some couples who, never have the loss of like little loved ones, such as like their fur babies. There was a time even professionally where it was like I was just starting to kind of grow in my practice and you had been let go like not you, but like there had been a big layoff at the company and like there was just like a lot of like rebuilding, and I look at us and I'm like, wow, like we really exhibit a lot of like strength and resilience in our marriage, which I'm always hoping that we like pull through in our parenting too, right? Of like, how do we be a united front, especially with a more strong-willed daughter who is going to do amazing things in this world because of how strong-willed she is, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very appreciative of you for that reason.
Yeah. And I'm appreciative of you as well.
I was waiting for that. I was like, I hope he gets that cue. Okay. I'm going to ask you 3 funny things. Okay, to kind of like start wrapping up. Okay. So, maybe not even like funny, interesting, however you want to describe them. Okay.
Yes.
So, favorite pizza topping if you were on a deserted island?
Favorite pizza topping if I was on a deserted island?
Yes.
A very specific scenario.
Well, I'm making it interesting.
I'm curious as to why I'm on a deserted island and the only thing I have access to is pizza.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what this is.
I would probably go towards a ground sausage as a topping.
And that is why Joe will not survive long on a deserted island, because I'll tell you this.
How do you figure? Because sausage is very calorie filling on that one.
Until that sausage is clearly going bad. I thought maybe like pineapple, right? Like something that's like a little bit more natural and hydrating. That would have been
island. That thing is sitting out in the sun. It's disgusting.
I'm going to say that would have been my choice. I will very much choose pineapple.
Pineapple
on my pizza.
I find that very interesting because I have never seen you eat pineapple on a pizza.
Untrue. Wow. Actually, one of my favorite pizzas. That's not even true. For a long time.
When was the last time you ordered pineapple?
Okay, I haven't ordered it for a while, but I will tell you this. For a very long time.
Okay.
For a very long time, I was doing a white pizza that had ricotta on it and garlic and pineapple and meatballs. Do you remember that? I was like really...
Meatballs.
Yes, meatballs.
Interesting.
Because I love the savory and the sweet. That's like the perfect combo, combo for me.
One topping, right?
Well, yeah, but my one topping if I was on a deserted island would be pineapple. Okay.
So I'll take sausage and
peppers.
Yeah.
You're not a pepper fan.
For whatever weird reason, as far as a veggie, actually no, not a weird reason. Mushroom is kind of my favorite.
Yeah, he does love mushrooms. Okay, next question.
Yes.
If you had to be a professional wrestler, what would your name be?
See, we're getting into these. Why am I a professional wrestler? Why do I have to be a professional wrestler?
Just listen.
I can't get over the little questions that are. If I had to be a professional wrestler,
what would be your wrestling name?
It would probably be my childhood nickname, which was Big Joe. And the reason why is because it was always, if you follow WWE, you know of the Big Show, which is so that was kind of like a spin-off on that. And
Big
that's
Joe?
so that's where my nickname came in. It was a spin-off on him.
Yeah.
Plus, I was also bigger.
Yeah.
So it kind of played into it a little bit.
Yes.
But, yes.
Mine...
So I probably would go to that. What would be yours?
Mine would be the Flying Crane. And I will tell you why. Because I'd be so light on my feet, like a crane, because they have those dinky little legs and feet. I'd be so light on them, and I would just be flying around the ring.
So, in the WWE, they have a costume.
Yes.
Or some sort of makeup.
Yes.
What are you doing for a flying crane?
I'm just telling you right now, it would be an all-white getup. I would definitely have feathers on my hair.
Oh gosh.
And then
You're
maybe
over the top.
and then maybe I would have stilts to demonstrate my tiny legs.
Okay. I have no idea what that would look like, but I trust that you're going to go with it then.
Okay, and then last but not least.
Okay.
Now, this is something that Simone and I do at the end of every podcast.
Okay.
Okay. What was your high of the week and what was your low of the week? And it doesn't have to just be parenting. It could be in any area of your life. But of course, it could be parenting or marital or whatever.
I mean, low for me would be just kind of stressors at work.
Yeah.
That's not really anything at home.
Yeah.
I guess. Just the challenges at work. That's just tough for me.
Yeah.
That's kind of just something I have to navigate. The highs.
Mm-hmm. You can even just
the
pick
Bronx
one.
Zoo.
Oh, that's true. We did just go to the Bronx Zoo. And for any of you listening, they have like a holiday lights festival happening soon.
Yeah.
And we just saw like a very quick little preview of it as we were like still walking around. They turned on some of the like lantern animals and all this. I don't know how you would even describe them, but just like the light up kind of lanterns of the animals, and it was very, very cool. And when we were driving back, we saw like massive lights coming from it with like pinks and blues and purples, and it was pretty extraordinary. So I agree. Yeah.
So I would say most of the time, my favorite things are going to be kind of like those family events that we do together.
I agree.
Whether it's the zoo, the museum, just walking, and enjoyable.
That's true. I appreciate that. I love that too. My high for the week, or actually I would say my low was also like work stressors, right? So like adjusting my expectations of work, adjusting like what my expectations of myself are when it comes to my practice. Mm-hmm. But I think the high is being able to see my resilience or my ability to like manage some of those stressors instead of getting like swept up in them or bogged down, right? And I think that it's been really great to also have you as like a sounding board to say, what do you think I should do with this, or do you think I should move forward in this way? And so I'm really appreciative of you in that way.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I was going to say, and like, thank you so much for being on the podcast and filling in for Simona.
Problem.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Joe did a really great job today. So listen, definitely give us a follow. I'm not as good as Simona at saying this little last part, but remember to follow us on Instagram. You can you can see our show notes once we get it uploaded. And of course, we love any feedback, any comments, any spreading the love and the word that we are just, taking on this podcast world. And thank you all so much. Bye-bye.